So you mentioned you have 3 cars. So there's one. What else do you have?
I have.
Let's make the internet jealous right now.
Well, I have a Mazda 3. That's my daily driver.
He starts with the Mazda. Okay.
Hey, it's a good car.
And then
I also have a GTR.
Okay, not bad. Godzilla. Today I'm with Mr. David. Mr. David, thank you so much for making some time for us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Well, tell us, what do you drive?
So this is a 1993 Toyota MR2.
Okay. And how long have you had the car for?
A long time. I was thinking about that this morning, and I think I've had it almost 13 years now.
13 years? Wow. So how do you come up with the MR2 13 years ago?
So growing up, I wasn't really that into cars, honestly. I didn't really know much about them, but I had a friend that was really into cars. And at the time, like, Initial D was super popular, right? Okay. And he kind of got me into cars, and it was all, about Japanese cars. He was looking for an 8.6 at the time. And
back when they were kind of cheap.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
Now they're harder to get. But this is, a long time ago. So we were actually at a used car lot looking for a car for him. And he was like, if you could have any car here, what would you want? And, like, I didn't know anything. And so I'm, like, looking around, I see this yellow MR2 Spider, and I was like, that car, because it looked cool to me.
Right.
And then as I started actually looking into the cars more, I got attracted to this generation. And, I still didn't really have much money at all. I had a part-time job, I was still in high school. And my dad was like, well, we want to get something that's reliable, good fuel economy.
Right.
Yeah, right?
So mid-engine car sounds about right.
Yeah, right. So at least, fortunately he was into cars, so he was like, oh, this is actually a pretty cool car. But he encouraged me to get the NA because it would get better fuel economy, wouldn't
less
have any
headaches.
problems.
Right.
So that's how I ended up getting the MR2.
Okay, this was the NA?
Yes, this was originally an NA chassis.
Okay.
It's not NA anymore.
What did you swap in there?
So it has a 3S GTE, which is what the MR2 Turbo had originally, but this is a 4th gen, and it has quite a bit more power. It's a much more modern engine. Okay. So the original 3S GTE made about 200 horsepower, and it was, old school turbo technology, OBD1, that kind of thing. This motor is from, I don't know exactly, but probably like 2006, 2007. Came out of a car called the Caldina, which was only sold in Japan. And it's just the later generation. So it's actually OBD2.
Okay.
It's much more modern turbo technology. Stock makes 260 horsepower.
Wow. That's not bad. What kind of PSI are you running on the turbo?
So I have stock boost, which depending on the day, you get like 10
How
to
cold
12.
it is.
Yeah, so you get like 10 to 12 PSI.
Okay.
This is completely stock body. The only thing that's really different up here in the front is, of course, I took out the license plate, and then these are the JDM rear corners. So these are normally all amber.
Oh, okay.
And these are from the JDM MR2.
Sweet, okay. And it's still original paint?
Yes, all original paint, with the exception, unfortunately, of the rear bumper. Because a couple of years ago, somebody backed into me in a parking garage. It was really minor. It's still the same body piece, but it needed to be repainted.
Oh, okay. Good. And so white bumper, let's go with the white wheels. You said you've had how long?
So I've had these wheels maybe 6 years, 5 years, something like that.
Okay.
So they're 17 inches all the way around. I have 8 inches wide up front, 9 inches wide in the rear. And offset is plus 30.
Okay. And tire size is, I don't see
215 up front and 245 in the rear.
Okay. And you have a 2-piece rotor?
Yes, 2-piece rotor. So that's actually one of the things I'm really proud of. They're a little pricey. When I wanted to upgrade from the stock brakes, the original plan was to just go to the brakes that are on the turbo model, which are just a little bit bigger. They have dual piston up front, but it was still, nothing fancy or anything. But I don't know, I'm the kind of person that when I actually decide to do something whatever that thing is, I want it to be the best, you know. So I ended up going for the lightweight Willwood 4-piston calipers and the 2-piece rotors. And I think even more than the larger calipers themselves, the 2-piece rotors make a huge difference.
Okay, so you definitely felt a difference.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks nice. It fits in perfectly.
Thank you. I have quite a few TRD parts.
Is that the theme that you want to go with when it comes to performance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm definitely all about doing high quality, known kind of name brand type of things, and TRD, especially back in the 90s, really made some high quality stuff. So I've got like the strut bar here. I have a matching front TRD strut bar. I have TRD springs, the TRD short throw shifter. Any of the TRD parts I could find at the MR2, I pretty much went with that.
And these are all from the just the higher trim MR2.
No, so these would have had to have been bought on the aftermarket. It's just Toyota's
add-ons.
performance, add-ons.
Oh, okay, so there wasn't a MR2 that came with all these goodies. Not all.
Correct.
Of them.
No,
okay.
There wasn't an MR2 that came with them. No.
Got it. But it's so cool that they have them available for you guys.
Yeah, some of them are really crazy hard to find, especially like I have TRD sway bars on the front and back as well, and for some reason the rear one is like almost impossible to find. I had to look for like over a year to get it.
Wow, this is crazy.
Snug fit, huh?
Holy crap! How do you do
Believe it or not, some people swap a V6 in here.
A V6.
But then to do basically anything beyond like an oil change, you have to drop the motor because it fits super snug. Yeah.
And in the front, you have
got our TRD strut brace that matches the rear one. Other than that, not a whole lot up here. We got the
fuse box.
Fuse box, the battery. This is where you access AC, power steering, stuff like that. We've got Corbeau CR1 seats in leather, and they originally sat a little high, honestly, but then a friend of mine does a lot of fabrication. If anybody knows Steve or Steve 51 Customs, if you find him on Instagram, he actually makes a lot of rebar wheels and custom body work for a lot of cars that you've probably seen in magazines and show cars. So shout out to him, he helped me out. So he did custom lowered brackets on the seats.
Okay.
I got a Momo steering wheel.
What size?
I actually don't know.
Okay.
It's smaller than the stock one, but it's not the really small one.
Okay. TRD.
The removable hub, a quick release. Have a short throw shifter with the TRD shift knob, and the kind of currently crappy looking shift boot, which is one of the next things I'm actually going to change. Other than that, I mean, things are pretty stock in here.
Wow. MR2. Oh yeah, carpet. Wow. Alrighty, so what are there any future plans for your MR2?
So, for the most part, I mean, I've had it a long time. I've done most of what I want. But next thing is the transmission. So I'm going to put in a stronger transmission. It also has a little bit higher gearing up at the top, so I can cruise at lower RPMs. It's also going to have an LSD in it. Oh, okay. Cruise LSD, so definitely looking forward to that. I've actually had it for a while, and then upgraded clutch and aluminum flywheel. Oh, okay. Just haven't been able to get it in. The shop's been really busy, so unfortunately it's hanging out in the garage and not in the car right now. Okay. But that's the future plans.
It's not giving you any problems at the moment, right? The transmission that you have?
Yeah, everything's working. No problems at the moment. So
the reason I asked you that is because exactly, it's not giving you any problems, but let me upgrade.
Yeah.
So then it begins to give me problems. I love it. That's our mentality. Somehow we justify all that.
Yeah.
So I also know obviously that you have a YouTube channel. Actually, your channel is bigger than mine, so kind of ironic that a little channel is hitting up a bigger channel, but
not like mine's big or anything, but.
So you mentioned you have 3 cars. So this one, what else do you have? Let's make the internet jealous right now.
Well, I have a Mazda 3. That's my daily driver.
He starts with the Mazda, okay.
Hey, it's a good car.
And then
I also have a GTR.
Okay, not bad. Godzilla.
Yeah.
So the GTR, what are the plans for that one?
So once I get the transmission here. I'm kind of like, sometimes I kind of get tunnel vision on things, so I want to make sure that like one thing's done before I start on another thing.
Do you actually follow through though?
Absolutely.
You
yes.
do?
Yes.
Oh no, I'm the other way. No, I'm like working a little.
Honestly, kind of a pet peeve of mine, not to like talk trash about anybody, but it just like, when people talk about things a lot and then they don't actually do it, I'm like, man, why do you bother talking about it? Like, just do it and then we'll see it, you know?
Shots fired to all of you watching right now. You're all sitting in the couch. You're like, dang, he's talking to me. All right, Mr. David, thank you so much for giving us your time and working with me. Nothing but the best. Wish you the best. Hopefully you never get rid of this car. It sounds like you're not.
No plans to.
So that's a good thing. And once again, man, thank you so much for making the time for us.
Thank you.
And I really, really, really do hope your YouTube channel just blows up.
Thanks, man.
Great personality, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it.